When we try to throw in unconditional love into the mix of madness while we're navigating the spiritual information warfare is hysterically funny. Uh, if you say these things to people who are a bit more conscious and aware, the empathic souls, they would be having opinion like, well, we can always try. We just have that level of compassion. We don't like people suffering needlessly, kind of thoughts. Sometimes they don't express, but this is what they are thinking. In the other spectrum, if you say something like this to the persona based individuals, have full of themselves with the competitiveness and uh, trying to navigate life in the materialistic world, they would be saying something or thinking something like, yeah, B, I don't know what kind of fantasy world do you live in, but come back to real world. This is unconditional love sound really is childish. It doesn't make any sense. This is not how the real world work. We have bills to pay. They would most definitely have this kind of opinion and thoughts regarding these kind of discussions, observation, and having to even express these things like I am preaching about unconditional love, and a lot of healing is possible through recognizing your inner child, inner ancestral trauma body, and releasing some of these burdens we are carrying. They would definitely have this kind of opinion, which is fine. Everyone is working with what they got, so we have to sort of have a little bit of compassion towards these disconnected energetic frequencies in our mix. But something that's really important for us to recognize, we speak about this is really a common sense. It could be sixth sense, it could be a practical, logical observation. It could be a spiritual discussion, but mostly it is just a common sense. If we learn to navigate a little bit in depth regarding our existence, it becomes really clear, and the thinking become much easier regarding these extremely complicated, deceitful structure that's around us. So we'll say, if you have the night and day, if you have the dark and light, we always hear these expression and these words, especially in the spiritual community, any kind of a higher social structure. They be like, oh, well, we are offering you this guru. The lady, oh, brings them forward and say, these are the spiritual gurus. They are the most high accomplished and with a mega following. And these, here we go. We have the spiritual gurus that got answer to everything. Which is all fine for like 5 minutes, and somebody like me would be like, wow, it's something different, a great salesman. What a fantastic telemarketer. Whatever you are selling, we're not buying, because we know for sure, unless if you've done some real healing work, the everything else they are offered to you is a masking problem, especially in the spiritual community. When they offer these gurus, they are now discovering people who are a little bit connected, have a little bit of awareness, perhaps empathic kinder spirits that's able to identify some kind of an inner child issues, ancestral trauma, and that have idea that we really need to look for some kind of a healing, but then they guide you astray because now they are masking these inherent problems with, oh yay, let's go manifest abundance. We without even noticing, without even recognizing, we get led down into this dark hole once again. Now everyone is manifesting abundance, which we know is a possibility, but what happened, we are going to completely in a different area, and the masking inherent problems and manifesting abundance. Hey, if people want to be comfortable with the materialistic life, we are not here to judge or blame anyone. We just have to become somewhat realistic and learn that um, learning to we always say that we gotta heal, we gotta release. This is awareness coming in. The lessons aren't there for to waste our time. The lessons are there so we can recognize something. Why do we have to go through this level of suffering? We need to, healing is all about recognizing what causes the sickly feeling. Right now we're into emotional stuff and looking into the layers and depth of inner child ancestral trauma bodies, because we need to release some of these burdens before we do anything. This is where we have to be conscious about things that we are looking for some teacher, some counselor, someone external to us that never experienced your life, never gone through the same experiences. They might have some pointers, right? There always comes with a little bit of breadcrumbs and even a pudding. So then you have to be the one who is in charge of your own healing, because you know your comfort level and your discomfort. For example, what would be the unconditional love that we are speaking about? Immediately, some people, someone can say, well, if it's unconditional love, we can do whatever we want and it has to be unconditional love. Uh, Absolutely not. When we say unconditional love, meaning you're not the one who's going to be exposed and taken advantage of or get consumed in the end because you have unconditional love for someone. It's always about um, showing up with a mirror, because there is lessons attached to it. A perfect example, addiction of all form is really taken over our social structure, our humanity at large. Everyone is suffering from some kind of um, condition, is prescriptions, is sickness, even addiction towards the attention, addiction towards the materialistic stuff, and the gluttony, and drugs, the recreational drugs, and any kind of substance, even the spirituality, because we are chasing without having any awareness why and how do we overcome. So it is a personal responsibility for a person to be kind and compassionate towards these individuals, because they always find areas where we can hide. If everyone is taking a back seat because they know this is not a good situation, when they withdraw, they have another individual's layers of support system, enablers, whether it's a family, the parents, the siblings, or the friends, because it's so much easier to make excuses and mask the issue, because when we speak about a territory of inner child trauma or ancestral trauma body, um, there is a layer that is going to look back at you, and maybe perhaps you be in a vulnerable position. We don't want that. So lots of the toxic femininity in our mix. We always try to mask problems. We don't want to have any kind of light into the areas that's challenging. And this is not a judgment, it is how we get into, when you say unconditional love, and we're like easy pass, but that's not the unconditional love. It's all about, hey, you kind of have an issue here. This is problematic, and this is going on for a long time now. This is a time you kind of have to confront these issues. Why you're doing this? How is it going to help? Because every time when we live life with the kind of programmed issues, we don't want to take a responsibility for these situations. We are hoping someone is going to help you to maintain the level of toxicity, because when someone is uh, uh, taking someone is uh, self-destructive patterns, and they are always they're never adding value to anyone, because you're not in a position to even recognize you have a problem. We have to confront something. We're not happy, we're disconnected, we don't know how to get help, we don't even know if we need help uh, regarding these, because we know everything, we are always right, we know, um, but we are navigating life blindly. But on the process, you are consuming other people's energy, you are relying on them to cater to these behaviors, and uh, be turning blind eye to it, because we can't confront, we can't discuss. It is a really uncomfortable place. So then we're not really practicing unconditional love, because we are helping to further mask existing problems by protecting the spot of extreme toxic trauma body. So there is no unconditional love there. So we need to be very clear regarding these emotional layers of our life, because everything in our world is based on deception. We aren't given any kind of real truth. It's always hidden somewhere, it's always available. You just have to use your sixth sense every time you take information in, or any kind of external connection. We have to be extremely cautious and use our ability to uh, navigate and safeguard our energies from these external consumption, consumer society. This is why now one spectrum, this is happening to everyday people, but then in the other spectrum, there are external entities that is extremely toxic for the humanity, and go through set up a whole system to really manipulate, gaslight, and humiliate. This is the other spectrum. When you see these things happening in real time, real life, uh, what do? We are double down on trying to protect the existing level of toxicity and uh, unconsciousness. This is why we need to have a great awakening, because we double down on separating and extreme level of toxicity. We want to protect it at all costs because we can't comprehend the idea that we have been deceived. We were misled, and we were manipulated. We were programmed. We can't comprehend that. It's an extreme level of protest regarding these matters. So this is why we have to confront when we are sleepwalking through life. This level of toxic trauma bodies is not going to move us forward as a human species. So when we talk about these different spectrum of separation, light and dark, we have to be able to identify, because darkness, even the darkness, depth of darkness, it just doesn't happen. uh, it happens gradually. It's not something just uh, happen like instantly, right? So there is a layers of participation, layers of protection, layers of unconsciousness, and going to the extreme level of darkness. So it's a enormous level of layers attached to it. So we have to identify these layers, how we contribute to these level of darkness. Turning a blind eye to simple thing like a level of addiction, level of sickness, level of because it's always temptation over the needs. This is the different where you differentiate the greed, and because we're looking for comfort from the external factors, disregarding how we're masking the existing problems. Because when we go to accomplish any kind of external system, we're really looking to mask existing problem of a lack of self-worth, lack of boundaries, lack of awareness. All of these layers, never good enough, low self-esteem, all of these things attached to our life because we were programmed this way, because we were manipulated, because we were told we were never good enough, although we were born into this place, energetic being, a spiritual being, mind, body, spirit vessel. But we were sort of misled, thinking that we aren't good enough. We're energy, we have a frequencies, we have a ability to heal ourselves, and we put all of that in the back burner, and we have been programmed to go external and look for some kind of accomplishment, the title, and material wealth, so that we can become somebody. It's completely untrue. And although we're gaining some kind of comfort through the material possessions, and when you have easy access to material things, your life could be somewhat comfortable. Of course it is. When you're exposed out there with nothing, it's kind of challenging, because we have destroyed the whole thing about the concept of community and teamwork, and our personal ecosystem, families. When we sabotage all of that existing layers of our humanness, we have been exposed and vulnerable. So then we gotta desperately try to survive in the materialistic world, and not knowing how to overcome. So when we do that, and of course the spiritual gurus that's available, that working for the same system, now they are all in on the pedestal, and teaching you how to manifest abundance, and which is completely masking the existing problem. So this is why we hear often someone say, hey, if you don't make time for your wellness, you had to make time for your illness. Which is really exactly true, because I worked in the healthcare, really a bottom feeder position, but this is where you learn so much actual facts of life, and they are super high accomplished people sitting in the soiled linen and in extreme level of pain body, and so difficult to comprehend. This happened to them. It's unfortunate, it's a sad thing, and no one is immune to these factors, because when we keep on masking our struggles, our issues, without healing, because releasing is healing. You have to release some things to in order for something new to come. This is why we see occasionally we see these people, they want to acquire more space. Even if you have a room, you want to go out of it. It's sort of like what's happening inside, because we don't have any room left. Um, and we need to release some of the burdens, and then it's so difficult for our physical body to tolerate the level of toxicity, because we haven't learned any lessons, we haven't released any of the things, and we trying to accumulate more and try to create more space, hoping that's going to support our structure and give us a little bit more space to maintain this level of internal trauma body. This is how I navigate. This is where I'm comfortable right now. I could change these ideas in the future. I could have new information and completely change, because I am not the guardians of any kind of wrong information, any kind of a large group of like information overload. I am not a keeper of any of these. I can change my mind with the different information and different awareness. So this is why when we are uh, when we are comfortable looking at our own self, releasing is healing once again. Like in the school, nobody tells you, hey, this is your test, this is what is going to we're going to have an exam, this is what it's uh, going to be. We have to figure these things out on our own. So spiritual gurus are a good thing. They will open a door into a different layers of information. So we are the one who have to navigate, and it will come a time that we can't hide anymore. And for any kind of big problems, we need to recognize and release. So this is somebody can say, well, we have a job, we need to have a job, we got bills to pay. This is accurate. Of course, we don't want to uh, have nothing and no options and be cornered into something and live under a tree. It's a difficult position to be, but when you have extreme level of material possessions and extreme wealth, and now they are being exposed to what they are actually all about, and the level of the trauma bodies they are creating to anyone, the little children, the little people, and all of these things come to light now. They are extremely exposed, and it doesn't matter how much wealth and resources they have, they are confronted, because they have a light shining over the whole layer of existence, because they are we are in our ordinary people are working with the inner child trauma or ancestral trauma body trying to release in this other spectrum of elite groups, and they're working with wow, with all the resources. They are the one who create so much trauma body for anyone come into contact with them in their path, whether it's the um, uh, yeah, it's they are in a predicament. This is how they behave. This is how they uh, live their life. This is the level of trauma body. They got so much wealth at their disposal and power, yet they were not able to control their own behaviors, their own vessel. As a result, they have created such an extraordinary level of trauma body circumstances for these really unsuspecting innocent humans, being the youngsters in our mix. And they go out there, they are like the ones who are promoting this toxic economic system, uh, consume your energies, your time. They are sending you into a dead end or time wasting things without giving any kind of substantial knowledge, because we are the one who is responsible to figure these things out by using our intuition, our gut feeling, our connection to the source, our sixth sense. uh, that's the personal responsibility. This is how we navigate our vessel. There is no other way. And or you can just continue to live blindly thinking about hey, you're speaking about unconditional love, come back to reality. It's a fantasy world. No, real fantasy that we're living, and we are participating. The real fantasy is the one that we think it is normal to exploit other human beings, manipulate them, traumatize them, gaslit, all the way to the graduations, and give them nothing in return except material, some kind of a fictional wealth, and tell you this is the way to be, this is how you become someone. And so this is a misleading idea. This is against humanity. This is all of these things coming from agents think that you are useless eater, you are an animal, you have no right to live, you are nothing but you're nothing but a useless eater. You're a hackable animal. We can do whatever we want because we are in charge. Now, this is a fiction. This is the fantasy. This is what we had to wake up ourselves from. And we go out there to work. We're thinking we're super high class. We go and we broadcast, and in the mainstream, we are selling people lies and deception and a scarcity. We think this is high accomplishment. No, this is the fantasy you need to wake up from. The human beings can change their mind anytime. We have that free will. We have that option. Unlike the depth of darkness, we can decide to be united. We can decide to be awakened. We can decide say no more, and not participating into our wants and our desires. Instead, we can prioritize focusing on our needs. And this is the way we protect ourselves, our mind, body, and spirit vessel. So when you say living, preaching about unconditional love is a fantasy. It's not a fantasy, it's a possibility. Thinking that we can enslave 8 billion people, then we know that we have the ability to see the spectrum of darkness and light, and who are digging your heels into the slowly working their way towards the depth of darkness, or working towards the natural growth, the slow elevation of our vessel into the light body, towards the net neutrality, towards the healing, towards the love, self-love, unconditional love, and towards the enlightened state of consciousness. So these are all possibilities. We can easily, just like we were manipulated and gaslit into this depth of darkness, we can easily open our eyes and be awakened towards the enlightened state. And this is what a great awakening is. This is what the possibility is. This is not living in a fantasy, it's a possibility. So let's prioritize healing ourselves and not turning blind eye to a problematic option, because there is absolutely no one ever says, hey, we need to be a drunk for the rest of your life, you need to be a gambler for the rest of your life, you need to be an abuser for the rest of your life. No one ever says that. Is not the law. We can be conscious and connected and take initiative to heal our mind, body, spirit vessel towards great awakening. So this is a possibility. It's never a fantasy. It's a possibility. So we can be in charge of ourselves and not further get misled into this level of deception out there. Thank you.